How much do you truly know about the Greek gods? I'm sure most of us remember sitting down on the couch enjoying a good movie, specifically Hercules. When we remember a kind and loving mother, a giant party in the sky filled with several gods and immortal beings, and we even know a strong father more powerful than the earth itself. But how much of this is really true? We have always seen the depiction of evil characters and good characters, people who just want to see the world burn. However, the Greek gods are not the paragons that we see them as. Specifically, its three main kings. Oh. When we look back at the past, we can see the familial crime, the cluster of information, uh, and the overall terror that is the Greek paragon. Our three main kings are King Zeus, King Poseidon, and then King Hades. We know Zeus from the movie. Big, strong father, always there for his son. But how true is that really? Zeus was found to have over 100 recorded children with several different women, not his wife. Sourced from thecollector.com, in his private life, Zeus was quite the Lothario, fathering an unbelievable number of around 100 children with many different women. But don't hate him too much, it's just a myth after all. Of this 100, he fathered a mix of sons, daughters, and many of whom were gods and goddesses and became great leaders. When we go back to the movie Hercules, we can see Hera, Hercules' mother, loving him very much, but that isn't true. His true mother is Alcmene. Alcmene was a mortal woman, and Hera was actually so enraged at the fact that Zeus had cheated on her again that in the real story, she threw she threw Hercules off of the Mount Olympus. Hera was a loyal wife, however, Zeus, as stated before, was not a loyal husband. With Zeus, Hera mothered only three of his vast children: Ares, their daughter Hebe, and then Hephaestus. Hephaestus was actually thrown off of Mount Olympus because he was too hideous to be seen with the other gods. Now we move on to Crashing Waves Poseidon. Poseidon is the god of water, earthquakes, and then horses. According to Britannica, he was simply introduced around the same times that that horses were discovered, so he was just given the role. He is often the forgotten brother, only a background character is seen in the movie, and he doesn't really make too big of waves when we go through history. But when he does, he crashes onto shore with much war. He has fought against Athena for the city of Athens. However, going based on the name, we can guess who won that. He's also fought the war against Athena once more for Attica. These battles birthed the many monsters, such as the Gorgon Medusa, who was later slain simply for protecting herself. Poseidon was also not loyal to his wife. His wife, Nymphite, was a simple nymph of the ocean. She mothered two of his children out of 50 recorded kids. Now let's go on to our final and most hated brother, Hades. Hades was actually the only one who was loyal to his wife. They only had 2 kids, and they had a modest living in the underworld. Their children were Minlo, who was the goddess of the night, and then Zagreus, who was simply the next taker of the underworld, so the next king. So why do we see him as such a big villain and such a bad character all the time? Probably relating to current religions. We see the underworld as a place where those who have not earned the right to be to have a good afterlife. But why does it always have to be this way? The only things he is guilty of is having his three-headed dog Cerberus, just with three many times his teeth, and honestly not that vicious. He ruled over his underworld quite well, and then he just loved his wife and his kids. So I think it's sad that the only good relationship is seen as such an evil one. As we finish going through these brothers, we can see Hades ruling over the underworld and loving his wife. We see Poseidon crashing overseas and then moving from shore to shore. And then we have Zeus, the god of the skies and not a very good father.